the power of your network? Well, we're going to be talking today about leveraging your network to grow your business. And my special guest is hanging out in the virtual green room. We have Lynn Harris with us, founder of W.O.M.B, and you're going to get to hear all about it and how you can leverage your network to grow your business. We'll be right back after this quick intro. Don't you move.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. We are so excited for all of you that are tuning in from everywhere. Listen, we are multi-streaming on Facebook in several places. We're multi-streaming on LinkedIn. We are multi-streaming on YouTube. We are multi-streaming, oh my goodness, other places. And we are so excited that you took time to stop by. Welcome to those that are checking this out in the podcast version and also in the talk radio show version. You are just as important. And so today's topic, I know those of you that are entrepreneurs and small business owners, you are probably thinking, you know what? I need to pay attention to my network. I need to pay attention to networking. And if you're saying that, you're in the right place today. But let me remind you that this segment is brought to you by the Platform Builder Program, which is my signature 12-month group coaching program that closes on June 8th for application. So jump over to platformbuilder.biz to learn more. Welcome, all those that are coming on in. We are grateful to have you. Listen, I got to shout my mom out. Hey, Betty G, Stanley Mitchell, thank you for popping on in over on Facebook and shouting out my sister over on YouTube. Listen, we hold it down over here in these internet streets. Thank you, Deborah, for being here as well. So let me introduce my guest as you are. And I encourage you to tag a business bestie. I encourage you to tag a fellow business owner and say, hey, you need to be in this space. You need to be checking out the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. And you need to be checking it out right now. All right, let me introduce my guest. Certainly not a visitor, certainly not a stranger to my platform. Lynn Harris is back by popular demand. She's been on the show before. She's been a featured speaker at our pop-up conferences. And so as a business startup and strategic planning coach, Lynn Harris teaches women how to use simple strategies to set and carry out their business goals. However, she also recognizes the need for entrepreneurs like herself to have a safe space to grow. Yes, and to grow their businesses as a community. So she founded W.O.M.B, Woman-Owned Minority Business. And it's a professional networking and empowerment organization, and it empowers Black and Latino women entrepreneurs to leverage their connections to build purposeful and profitable businesses. Put your virtual hands together. Coming up to the mic right now. Welcome, Maya. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey, what's going on, Miss Sharvette?
We are super excited. Listen, we have your audience coming on in. My audience is coming on in.
Yes, tribe. I see y'all.
Shouting out. Thank you all for being here and just shouting out and being with us, certainly, as we open up this conversation. And so, Maya, while I was getting ready, I was thinking about when we first connected. And we connected. I remember attending a networking event, and it was at a beautiful tea shop here in the city. And I think it was my first event, and I just loved the vibe. I love the atmosphere. And at that time, and you'll talk about kind of talk about that. But at that time, you were opening up like a membership, and I'm like, yeah, like I just pulled out my check and like wrote a check, like I want to be a part of this. And so, gosh, how long ago was that?
Oh my goodness. That was she sharing her experience.
Yes.
And I launched that in 2013. And it was just a way for me. Actually, it was a super selfish way for me to get more people in my network. I was like, okay, I'm tired of going to these networking events. I'm bringing people to me.
Yes.
And so I partnered up with Sabrina Walters, and she had this beautiful tea shop in
Yeah.
Henrico, Black-owned, woman-owned business. And I remember stepping in there the first time. I was like, this is exactly where we need to be. And so we just did this, it started with this monthly networking space. And all of a sudden I just was in love with bringing women of color together to build together. There's so many great ideas came out of that space, and so many great collaborations came out of that space. And so I really just fell in love with the networking side of business.
And what you did then that was so progressive is that you would have networking events that were in the evening.
Yes.
You would do 5:30 to 6, because a lot of networking events are maybe lunchtime during the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, at the time I was working full time at Capital One Bank, and I was like, oh, this is something that I can go to. And so I always thought that was super smart of
Yeah.
you to, think outside the box and kind of think differently.
That was really important to me, and still is very important to me, because I recognize that my audience, my network of women, most of us were still working full time. We're parents and things like that, and we couldn't go to a networking event at 7 o'clock in the morning or in the middle of the day, lunchtime. And I was, when I first started going out and actively networking as an entrepreneur. And, luckily I was blessed enough to be able to go to some of those midday and early morning events. And we just weren't there. Like the women of color, we weren't in the room. And I saw all of these amazing things happening in these rooms, and these amazing connections, and literally money being passed around to each other. And I was like, why aren't we here? Like, where are my sisters? Why aren't we here? And I realized, I was like, wait a second, number one, we weren't being marketed to. And number two, it was an obstacle that was created for us, because it just wasn't something that we could actually participate in. There are very few women of color that are able to do those types of meetings, simply because they're either working or they have family obligations that just stops them from being able to do that, especially if it's on a weekly basis. And so I wanted to create a space that really focused on what my sisters needed. And even from, when we started and we started doing that was something that I've carried on as since then, because we have to really make sure that we're creating a space and addressing the needs and meeting our sisters where they are.
Yes, so good. Listen, y'all, this is good already. A shout out here. One of your sorors is here. All right. Yana, thank you for being here. And so then you went on, you did conferences. And I literally drove by the hotel where you so graciously had me be one of the speakers. And I thought about it going down Broad Street. Looks a lot different now.
Right.
Other things going on.
I drove past that hotel today. I was like, wait a second. Can't go there anymore.
So really, like, your brand and really your passion has always been like funneled, around this networking and this collaboration. I want to get more into that, certainly, but I don't want to leave out that you are an author. And so talk a little bit about your books.
So my first book, What's Your Oil? Unmasking Your Hidden Talents, it was simply just really my journey as an entrepreneur, paralleled with the story. And like, I promise not to go too long with this, but parallel with the story of the widow's oil and in 2 Kings chapter 4 in the Bible. And, I went to a breakfast one day at my church, and the sister was, speaking from that particular text. And I was like, wait a second, this woman is a single mom with 2 kids and she is broke. I am in the Bible. And I just really just delved into that that chapter. It's a really short chapter. I delved into that chapter, but I was just so
Yeah.
blown away at this story of this woman, which was really this beautiful parallel to entrepreneurship. Like, this woman started a business on very little. She didn't know what she had in her house, and it was blessed. And so that particular book it takes her journey and my journey into entrepreneurship, and just having to trust God with the gift that He had given us, and allowed Him to bless that. And so that was my first book. And then I'm a co-author of another amazing book, Unchain My Legacy, which is myself and 12 of my beautiful sisters, we call each other.
Yes.
And just really talking about, the things we have done in our life, and how it negatively impacted people that we loved, and what we needed to do within ourselves to get past that. So and I have a couple other books in my spirit, but I gotta make myself do it.
It's on the way. If listeners or viewers want to purchase those books, how can they do that?
So both of those books, you can actually go to my website, lynnharris.com, and click on the What's Your Oil tab, and that's where the books are. Yeah.
All right, there you go. So as we talk about leveraging, your network to grow your business, what would be, in your assessment, some of the foundational things that people need to think about if they're saying, okay, do I even know who my network is? And
Right.
where do we even start with this conversation?
Well, the first part is, a lot of us hate networking. Like, we hate going to networking events. We hate the schmoozing feel of networking, right? And I was one of those people that, would stand against the wall with a glass in my hand and my business cards in my pocket, and just hope somebody would come to me, because I most certainly wasn't going to walk up to somebody else, right? And I think a lot of people are very nervous when it comes to networking. And so really having a game plan, you have to walk into an event, you have to, whether it's online or, a virtual event, or in person, or just like your daily networking, you have to have a game plan, and networking has to be purposeful. You're not just in there to give out a business card and then go see what the DJ is playing, right? You have to go in with a goal. And so as we're in W.O.M.B, what we're working with our members is, what is your goal for the quarter? Like, what's one goal for the quarter that you need support in? There's a lot of things that we can work on in our business that you only, it's just for you. You can get it done yourself. But the majority of the stuff that you do as an entrepreneur, you're going to need some help, whether it's a team or whether it's a coach or, something. So what is this one goal that you are working on this quarter that that you need outside support in, so that when you're going to these events, you know how to target the type of people that would help you accomplish that goal. I think too many of us go into networking events with the only goal is, I want to find another client, right? I want to find my next customer, which is great. Lord knows there's nothing wrong with finding a customer, right? But there's so many other ways to connect and build with people as you're out and about meeting and growing with people. So it's important to understand the different types of connections you can make, and how those connections will help you fulfill your goals at the end of the day.
Ah, so good, so good. And over on your Instagram, I just like one of your recent posts, Maya, and it said, today's networking tip: you can't expect to receive more effort and value than you provide.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So, don't go to a networking event and just throw up your business on somebody. It's like, hey, my name is Maya Harris. This is what I do. Please purchase from me, right? Like, don't do that. And the people that are going to eventually support you, whether it's through direct purchases or referrals or whatever, they're going to support you because they remembered you, because you've left some kind of impact. And so, the first goal of networking is, what value can I bring to the people in the room? Like, how can I help you grow your business? How can I help you make a connection? How can I help you, get to your next level? I use one of my dear friends. Her name is Nicole Marie Reed. She's an amazing realtor, right? I think of Nicole every single time when I think of realtors, because when Nicole is working with someone, she's immediately like, okay, what can I do for you? What do you need? Without even
Mm.
talking about real estate. That's
Wow.
when I met her, it was like, how can I help you? I didn't even know she was a real estate agent when I met her. But because of that, she left such an impression. When someone says, hey, I need a real estate agent, she's the first person that pops into my mind. So it's really about the relationships that you're building, and that
Yeah.
will allow you to grow your business in a way that social media can never do. It's really
Yeah.
creating those relationships and building that trust factor within your network. That's what's really going to take your business to that next level.
Yeah. And what I have found in particular for service providers is that referrals, that is the bread and butter, like
It
the
really is.
baseline
It
of
really is.
everything. And so networking, if your client, thank you for the hearts that are coming up. I see you. Thank you so much, Kamisha and Natalie, that are popping in. The referral people that you're connecting with a networking event, your customer might be there, or it might be somebody who has the ear of your customer.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
when I meet someone, every person has a network behind them, right?
Yes.
And so you don't know who they know. You don't know who that person. So if you're approaching your networking as I'm just looking for my next client, you're missing a huge opportunity, because this person might not purchase from me, but they might have about 5,000 people behind them that
Yes.
will, right? And so, let me understand what your business is about. Let me understand who you are and what you do and how I can help you. And that will actually make it easier for me to understand how, that relationship can be beneficial for both of us. So if we're only focused on one type of connection, we really miss a huge opportunity to grow your business. You don't, again, you never know who that person knows. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate sometimes, because we focus on so many of the wrong things.
Yeah.
And we're afraid to connect. We're afraid to share ideas. Like, man, share those ideas, because that person that you're speaking to might say, hey, wait a second, I'm doing a conference in a couple of weeks, and we have 3,000 attendees. Would you like to speak? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
So it's really looking at how can I create that value for that person and understand what their needs are, which will help me understand how I can work with them.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
so good. So good. Those that are just popping in, those that are just coming on in, we're hanging out here with our guest, Maya Lynn Harris, founder of W.O.M.B. You're going to get to hear more about that. And we're chatting it up, talking about leveraging your network to grow your business. While they are listening, how can they follow you on all your social media?
So all of our social media handles are at W.O.M.B, WOMBBIZ, except Facebook, which is WOMBBIZ1. Whole story behind that. But W.O.M.B is the best way to find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can try it on Twitter, but you'll be bored. I'm just not on Twitter. I can't do it. I can't do it. We're starting to play around a little bit in Clubhouse. You're trying that out, but W.O.M.B is the best place to connect with us on the social platforms.
All right. I love that. And certainly listeners are saying relationship is key.
Absolutely.
Kamisha is saying relationship is absolutely key. Heidi is saying
Hey,
yes
Heidi.
to relationships. Thank you so much. You said Cookie said great content, excellent
Thank you,
content.
Cookie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to talk to the person that is here saying, okay, I hear you, Sharvette. I hear you, Maya. I need to network. I need to work on getting out there, but I am an introvert. This is what somebody might be saying that's listening or watching. I am scared. COVID is still around.
Right.
So hold it, because I know you're ready to go. I'm going to take a
Right.
quick
I got
commercial
you.
break. And when we come back, I want you to chat to address some of those things, those thoughts
Okay.
that may be coming up for people, and then give some additional tips of really and the result of leveraging your network to grow your business.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. So we'll let Maya hang back out in the virtual studio. Again, welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. We are excited to have you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will be back.
Achieving woman entrepreneur who is ready to ditch being invisible and unpolished, but finally ready to shine a spotlight on your expertise and services? there's a better way to increase the visibility of your personal brand and gain more customers. Let Sharvette Mitchell show you with the Platform Builder Program. The Platform Builder Program is her signature 12-month group coaching program built for female entrepreneurs and leaders who are ready to position their expertise and services with a polished visual brand, increase visibility with speaking opportunities, build authority with a published book, and convert more customers with content marketing. Not only do you walk away with all of the juicy strategic nuggets in Sharvette's head, but with tangible outcomes that you can see and feel. Find out more and apply at www.platformbuilder.biz.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
All right. Welcome back to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia. We're super excited to have all of those that are watching and viewing. And if you're checking this out in the podcast version, thank you so much. Go ahead and subscribe, leave a rating. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you like this content. All right, let's get our guest back up in here. Lynn Harris is here dropping nuggets, encouraging us to network. And because when we leverage our network, we are going to grow our business. So what do you say to the person who's saying, I'm an introvert, I'm scared, COVID is still out? What do you say to that?
So introverts are the best networkers. Okay, I'll tell you. So
mic drop.
They're the best, right? Because they don't want to talk to everybody in the room, right? An introvert is going to come into a space and they have a clear purpose. And one thing I love about working with introverts is, you know, they want to limit their interactions as much as possible. Yeah. So it's okay, let's get that game plan. What's the goal that you want to accomplish that you're working towards? What type of people will help you? And let's identify 4 or 5 people that will be in the room that day. And you have your conversation ready. And look, you don't have to talk. It's mostly listening. A person who's really understanding how to network understands that listening is the most important part of that conversation. Yeah. So after you introduce yourself, just listen, and make sure that you exchange information and stay in control of that conversation. So introverts really do very well once they understand that, no, I don't have to talk to everybody in the room. Yes, I can have very directed conversations. And when I'm ready to go, I can go, Right. And so I would encourage introverts to do more networking, but to create that plan ahead of time so that they are able to really, go into a space and know exactly what they're looking for and be able to leave. It's really, it's really a great opportunity for them. Introverts tend to be people who just think a lot about things, right?
Yeah.
And they're processing and, they're reading the room. And so, I think sometimes they are really overwhelmed when those extroverts come through and they, who want to talk to everybody, like, boo, slow down. That's not why I'm here. And so they shy away from these networking opportunities, but they are actually some of the best people to be in a room. Frankly, when I'm in a networking space, don't talk to me for 20 minutes. Don't hold me in a corner just talking, right?
Yes. Oh my.
Because I'm there for a purpose. And so I love having conversations with introverts because they are quick. We get to the point, exchange information. Okay, yes, well, I'll shoot you email on Tuesday, and boom, we move on to the next person. So I would encourage introverts to really, take it. It is still a leap of faith. I realize that, but
Uh-huh.
understand that don't look at their introversion as a handicap in this situation. It's actually a really cool power play that you can have in networking situations.
All right. Well said. I see some hearts going up for that. So if you identify as an introvert, just put a one in the comment.
Yes,
We're gonna give you some love.
introverts unite. I get it.
Now, are you an extrovert? Are you an ambivert? How do you classify yourself?
So I am a extroverted introvert, right? So I love being by myself. Like I love being by myself. When I'm in a social situation, I'm good. I'm fine, but
Yeah.
I need to get in and get out. I'm not the person who's going to close down the party. All right?
Got it.
I'm gonna come late and I'm gonna leave early. Like I'm just,
Right.
I love being around other folks, but I love, being able to be alone as well. So,
Yes, that's good. That's good. So, how do we find networking opportunities, or when we're thinking about leveraging your network? Is it always a networking event?
No, not at all.
Mm,
Not at all. So anytime you step out the door, you have a networking opportunity. When any place that you go, you have a networking opportunity. Networking is simply connecting with other people. And so you're networking when you go to church, you're networking when you're at the grocery store, you're networking, there's always an opportunity to make a connection with someone and have a conversation with someone. So it doesn't, don't limit yourself to only networking at particular events. When you're online, when you're on in these Facebook groups, or you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, all of that is a form of networking. And again, and I really love online networking because again, there's a lot of control that you can have there. You know exactly how many people you want to talk to, exactly the type of people that you're looking for, the conversations that you can have. So there's there's a lot of opportunities outside of events to actually
yeah.
network and connect with people.
Yes, yes, yes. And speaking of events, one of the great things about WOM, women-owned minority business, is that you are really intentional about creating these
Yes.
networking, these opportunities. So tell us about how WOM got started and what you all offer.
So Womb really was the daughter of She.
Okay.
So after She was such a great experience for me. I was still teaching full time when I was
Mhm.
doing She. I was working with a network marketing company when I was doing She. I was getting a tutoring company started when I was doing She.
Yes.
I was doing way too much. I was the serial entrepreneur that I'm like, okay, wait a second, let me kind of focus on some things. And so when I stopped doing She, was always with the intention of going back to that space of creating that space for women.
Yeah.
Once I left education, and I had all of these options, what do I want to do? And literally the acronym WOM was placed in my heart about 10 years ago.
Oh,
um Someone had said something about Bob's, right? Black owned businesses are called Bob's.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, my brain created WOM. And I was like, oh, that's dope. Right?
Yes.
Because women, we're birthing businesses. Like I love that. I
Yes.
didn't know what I was gonna do with it, but I loved it. So, I kept getting pulled back to that idea of I
Yeah.
love doing She so very much, but I also knew that I wanted to focus on women of color.
Yeah.
And so that's just realizing, okay, I'm in a place in my life where I literally can start doing something that I love doing and have that purpose, for myself. And so, we put this back together, and it started off just as the first couple of months, we put together a couple of networking events,
Mhm.
and the sisters who got involved with us were like, okay, so we got some
What else?
training, we got some accountability groups. I'm like, okay, let's, and it really started to form into this organization that has really over the past 2 years has transformed in so many ways. COVID hit us, and COVID was
Yeah.
actually a blessing not the COVID itself, of course, but the pandemic for us was a blessing because it forced us to go virtual, and it forced us to expand past Richmond. And I was excited when the first sister outside of Virginia was like, "Hey, what is this?" I was like, "Oh yes, we'd love to be in Maryland."
Yes.
And now being able to work with women across the country, and now literally expanding internationally, where we're working with women in Europe and Africa. And so it's really just something, creating these opportunities for women to connect. And so we do a monthly networking event, but we're also now this year launching our local circle chapters, where we'll have local events that are done by our leaders in different cities. And so our goal is to have 40 circles launched by the end of 2022 here in the United States and beyond. And again, it's the networking piece, but then again, we're focusing on teaching how to monetize those connections. And so we have our how-to clinics with guest coaches like Miss Sharvette Mitchell, and we have we have collaboration opportunities, and we have ways to feature our members and feature their businesses and things like that. So it really is, it's really now more of a all-encompassing organization that focuses on understanding that we do better when we move together. And we want to focus on your business, but we want you to understand that your business will grow faster when you learn how to build your connections and build collaborations. And so that's what our focus is on now.
All right. How can women join?
Look, wombbiz.org/join. Super simple, right? Go to our website, wombbiz.org/join. And we have, like I said, we have our local circles that are launching, and we have about 11 cities where we're starting circles right now. But we also have a virtual chapter for the cities that don't have leaders. We're looking for leaders. We're actively looking for women across the country. If you want to bring an organization to your city that's supporting women of color, and you feel like you're a person that can lead that, inbox me. We are looking for circle leaders. We're looking for circle leaders. And we just want to meet folks. We have, like I said, we have a networking event. We actually have one coming up this Sunday.
Tell us about it.
So our Empowered Experience is a virtual networking event that we do every third Sunday. This month, because of Father's Day, we moved it to second Sunday, but every third Sunday normally. And it's just a chance for women to come together. We start off with a speed networking segment, which is fire. They honestly, if I said, "Hey guys, we're going to do all speed networking this time," they're going to be like, "Yes," they absolutely love that. We have a guest speaker, and then we also do a business shower every month for one of our members. We just feel like, we want to financially bless one of our sisters every single month. So we've been able to do that for the past 2 years. That's one of my favorite things. And so we
wait a minute, pause. You can't just brush over that. You can't. I know y'all seen that meme on social media. We need to tell people.
Let's do a business shower.
Literally, W.O.M.B has done, and I've seen you all literally for 2 years.
Yeah,
every month. We'll identify a member, and people just go buy, just go give, just go to that business.
Yeah, so what we're doing now with the business shower, we choose a member. We don't do any type of application process. We don't ask them, how are you going to use this? We just believe in sowing a seed, and whatever you need at that time in your business, whatever you want to do with this money we're about to send you, we're going to do it. And we usually start that during the Empowered Experience for about 5 minutes. We do we have a PayPal link that goes, straight to that person. We raise funds, and then for about 48 hours, we raise funds, and we've done anywhere between $300 to $1,000 that we can just bless a member with. And it's, and then we say, "Hey, good luck. Tell us how it works out." There's no requirements attached to it, because we know if I'm sowing a seed with this sister today, that's just going to come back to me, later on. And so we love being able to support our sisters in that way.
Wonderful. Let's see here. What is a business shower? That's awesome. Yes, it is. It's absolutely, and I've seen it. So it's legit. It's not anything
it's real.
It's real. I've seen.
We don't keep any of the money.
It's all real. It is all legit. Oh my goodness. And so going forward, we know you have the goal of 40, kind of these branches, these organizations,
Yeah,
these
yeah,
satellite
man.
groups. And what else is, coming down the pike for WOM?
Really, our biggest thing now is to expand past the United States. I've always had a vision of wherever there's a sister with a business, there should be a circle behind her supporting her. And I recognize that we have women across, worldwide
Yeah.
who are doing this thing on their own. They don't have a spouse that's helping them out, or they're not in a community of entrepreneurs, and they didn't grow up in a family of entrepreneurs. They're just trying to figure it out. And I think about my process, and and learning as I go, and all the mistakes I made. Like, man, if I can help someone just avoid those mistakes, and just you don't know what you don't know, if I can just expose them to the Sharvette Mitchells of the world, so that they just do better from the beginning. I think so many of us struggle needlessly because we see the pretty side of entrepreneurship. So we get our EIN, we get our URL, and boom, I'm a business owner. But 6 months later, we're talking about haters on Facebook, right? Like,
haters go, hey, I see hearts going up.
Y'all, my family hated on me. Like, no, they're not your target audience. They're not hating on you, right? But you don't know what you don't know. And so, I want to put women of color in front of these sisters who are making 6, 7, and 8 figures quietly. I was telling someone the other day, I was like, one of my mentors has a multi-million-dollar business, and she has never ever posted on Facebook ever, right? like there are women out there just doing the thing that we just don't know about, who have all of this experience and can really guide us, because I promise you, the world is not going to give it to us, right? We understand that. And so, we're in a time where Black women and Latina women are just making huge gains in entrepreneurship, right? We're like starting businesses faster than everybody else, but we're not making close to the amount of money as our non-color sisters, right? So
that's the reality.
It's just, like, how do we get over these obstacles? Well, guess what? We got to do it ourselves. We can't wait for someone to do it for us. And so, if I could put myself in a position to connect my sisters to these other sisters who can help us get to the next level, that's how we get to, that's how we all win. That if traditionally Black women have always built together, right? Think about our grandmothers, our great grandmothers. They had a community of women, and they moved together. They did everything, decisions together about the community, about children or whatever. We got away from that. So we got to get back to the idea of, I can help my sister, and my sister can help me, and we can get further together.
Yes. And that is why leveraging your network is going to help you grow.
That's right.
Absolutely. I see the hearts coming up. I see it. Yes. WOM International.
I hear that. Yes, let's claim that.
Thank you, Kamisha. Thank you. And so Lynette is saying yes. If you connect
Lynette.
with that and come in agreement with Maya on that, type yes. If you're listening live, listening in the replay, just type yes. If you hear this part, we'll know what it means, and you are coming in agreement with Maya on that. And is for WOM, for membership, is it for the startup? Is it for someone that's been in business for a while? Who's the best type of woman to join?
So, I always say you have to have a target, right? We know we have to have our target audience. And so we tend to attract the sister who is, working full time. She's busy building her business part-time. She's been in business maybe 2 to 5 years or so. But we work with startups. We have members who are, like I said, 6, 7, 8 figure earners. So we attract a lot of different women, but we do that because those women are coming in as mentors. right?
Right,
And
right.
we want to take the sisters who are at the very beginning and kind of scoop them up and help them up too. But it's those sisters who are in it right now, who are building their business. They are working full time. They're coming home. They're working during their power. I call them the power hours from the 8 p.m. to
Uh-huh.
9 to 10 p.m. The kids are in bed. Okay, now I can focus on my business. They're working on Saturdays and Sundays. Like every extra minute they have, they're working on their business, and they're doing it on their own. They don't have a team yet. But they want this thing to be the thing that leaves that legacy for their family. And so
Yeah.
those are the sisters that we tend to attract, and those are the sisters that we know we can help the most, because we can say, hey, these are the things that you don't know yet. Right.
Uh-huh.
So let me introduce you to Sharvette so you can get working on your platform. Let me introduce you to Sanji so that you can get your financial life together. Let me introduce you to this. But we get them in front of the right people, and then we say, and now all of us are going to help you get there, and we're all going to make sure that you're sticking to it. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to keep your feet to the fire. We can have those conversations with each other that we might not have in those other rooms. I'm like, sis, I saw you on Facebook. What were you wearing? That's not the brand you represent. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like, what are you doing? Why are you cussing so much on your page? Like, your clients are watching you, right? So we can have those conversations with each other, because
Yes.
it's out of love. So, those are the women that we know that we can scoop up and bring together and build together and get them to that 6 and 7 figure level. We talk about 7 and, hit that $1 million, hit that 8 million, whatever level.
Right.
But most of these sisters are like, look, I just trying to leave my job.
Right.
Can I make $50,000 in my business? Can I get to 6 figures? And so we want to help those women understand that, yes, you can do that in your business, and we can help you get there, and we're going to do it together as a sisterhood.
Yeah, and as a network, a
Yes.
network. Wow. Well, I have stolen more time than I asked for. So I'm gonna wrap up. A final question. The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence, and we want to know what continues to motivate Maya Lynn Harris.
Oh man, when I see sisters winning, man, I love seeing sisters online and talk. They're excited about this idea. They're excited about realizing that they're in their purpose. They're excited about, their kids and how it's going to impact their children. And so every single time that I see another sister who's doing something phenomenal, I'm just like, yes, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
Because I know how that feels, and I know the impact that she's going to have, not just on her small family, but on the people around her. And so that pushes me every single day.
All right. Can't add nothing to that. Can't take nothing from it. Thank you, Maya, for stopping by
Thank
and
you,
just
sis.
being gracious and with our audience. And certainly go back and check out the chat, because there were a lot of yeses that came through in agreement and coming in agreement with you for international reach of your network. And that just means the whole entire network for W.O.M.B.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
And come to our event on Sunday.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Wow. Wrapping up a show here. If you are listening to the podcast, just look down below in the show notes and you'll see all of the connection points for Maya and for W.O.M.B. If you are on Instagram, I have tagged Maya and W.O.M.B. So there's great connection points. Certainly Facebook. You will see the tags there for all of that. And so leveraging your network, I think is so incredibly important. And I am really committed. I was saying this in the conversation today with Henrico County economic development, that I am passionate about making sure that my platform shares resources and networks, and networking opportunities, and just opportunities for those that are under my platform, even if it's an event or what have you, because a lot of times we look and we say, gosh, there was a grant that came out, there was money available, and we just didn't know. Why? Because we didn't network. We weren't in the network to know. And so I'm really committed. If you're in coaching with Vet, you notice I'm like sharing networking events, sharing Zooms to jump on and just be able to do more and be better with your business and with your network. So yes. Thank you. I see the comments. Great show. Kamisha said a mindset to win. Absolutely. Thank you to my sister Kim hanging out on YouTube. Thank you, Maya Harris. Appreciate the good info. Absolutely. All right. It is a wrap. Thank you for being a part of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Subscribe if you're listening on YouTube, if you're on Apple or any of the podcasts, subscribe and also leave a great review. And until we meet again, peace and love. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Get Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m. interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette